Rourke Reaper Callahan's burner phone buzzed once in the pocket of his iron Viper's cut. He almost ignored it. 10:47 p.m. Middle of nowhere. Route 66 dust stop. 5 Harleys cooling beside the sagebrush gas and go, chrome-dripping desert sweat, the Vipers stretching legs after 500-mile Vegas memorial run. Rourke, 51, president with salt and pepper beard scarred from a cartel blade, pulled it out anyway. Unknown number. Kid's shaky text. Help. He broke Mum's arm. Hiding in closet. His yelling. Come quick. 247, Oak Street. Followed by a blurry photo, small hand clutching a cracked iPhone, background dark with slats, closet door. Audio clip attached. A man's roar, "Where's that little bitch?" Glass shattering. A woman's scream cut short. Rourke's blood flash froze. Flash to Tommy, his boy, same age, leukemia bed 3 years cold. He hit reply without thinking. I'm on my way. Hide tight. Engines hot in 60 seconds. Tessa Blade Monroe, Viper's switchblade queen, leaned over, boss. Rourke showed her the screen. Her knuckles whitened on her coffee cup. Mount up, he growled. Address punched into GPS. 12 minutes. Iron Vipers roared alive, 5 Harleys thundering south off Route 66, dust clouds swallowing taillights. 12 miles away, 9-year-old Mia Harper huddled in her bedroom closet, knees to chest, Mum's blooded work shirt clutched like armor. Dad, Ricky Voss, oil roughneck, mean drunk with warrants, had snapped Mum's arm clean at the elbow during dinner rage. Mia grabbed Mum's phone from the hall, fumbled 911, busy. Random number from recent calls. Sent everything. Prayed. Engines hot in 60 seconds. Mia's eyes widened. Bikers? Like the scary ones on TV. Headlights slashed her window 11 minutes later, 5 Harleys skidding into the cul-de-sac like judgment, engines cutting silent as death. Rourke dismounted first, massive frame filling the yard light, Viper skull patch gleaming. Tessa flanked left scanning windows, brick Tanner right cracking knuckles like thunder. Front door explodes open, Ricky staggering out, beer bottle swinging, eyes wild, who the fuck are you freaks? Rourke stepped forward calm as grave, got a text. Girl needs help. Mum's arm. Ricky laughed ugly, spotting the bikes, wrong house, Leatherneck. GIT. Swung the bottle. Brick caught his wrist midair, crunch. Bottle shattered. Ricky howled. Inside, Mia peeked from stairs, saw Mum slumped on kitchen floor, arm wrong angled, whispering run baby. Ricky bellowed her name. Tessa vaulted the porch rail catquick, kicking Ricky's knee backward, man folded screaming. Brick zip-tied his wrists garden brutal. Thin wire Cole breached kitchen silent, scooping Mia's Mum Lena gentle, hospital. Now. Duke ghost hail covered the street, neighbors peeking curtains. Rourke knelt street level to Mia frozen on steps, voice soft ruin, phone girl? You did good. Mum's safe. Mia stared at the skull patch, trembling, you're not cops. Better, Rourke rumbled. Family. Extended massive hand. She took it. Sirens wailed distant, neighbor 911. Ricky spat blood, CPS mine. Girl's a liar. But Rourke saw the truth, Lena's arm splintered bone deep, Mia's cheek fingerprint shaped, closet door splintered from Ricky's boot. Viper convoy formed, Lena in Brick's truck bed, stolen from gas stop, Mia shotgun with Rourke, Ricky zip-tied in Tessa's sidecar glaring murder. Hospital ER swallowed them 8 minutes later, doc swarming Lena, social worker Marla summoned reluctant. Mia clung to Rourke's leg as Marla sneered, motorcycle club? Child endangerment, you're not taking her. Rourke pulled Mia's phone, texts, photo, audio. Wrong number saved her. Yours failed. Marla blanched, Ricky's donations to CPS fund her Mercedes. County exploded by midnight. Viper biker kidnaps family, or saves. Live streams viral. But Ricky's history cracked open, 5 priors, 2 buried CPS complaints. Vipers held ground ER lobby. Brotherhood wall unbreakable. Lena woke groggy, saw Mia safe with the biker daddy, whispered, Thank you. Rourke nodded throat-thick. Tommy's ghost overlapped Mia's eyes. War just started, Ricky's oil baron brother promising retaliation, CPS circling. But engines hot. Vipers ride for blood now. Mercy General ER buzzed chaos at 11:23 p.m. Doc's barking orders around Lena Harper's gurney, her snapped arm pinned in traction, face swollen purple from Ricky Voss's ringwork, for morphine dripping slow mercy as Mia Harper clung vice-tight to Rourke Reaper Callahan's belt loop, her small eyes darting every shadow like Ricky's ghost lurked in the fluorescent hum. The Iron Vipers held the lobby like a fortress. Tessa Blade Monroe perched on intake desk hacking hospital Wi-Fi for security cams, Brick Tanner blocking double doors massive as a vault, Finwire Cole live-streaming Ricky's zip-tied rage in Tessa's sidecar to club allies and a tipped FBI contact, Duke Ghost Hale ghosting hall sniper quiet covering exits. County social worker Marla Tate stormed in heels clicking fury, flanked by 2 deputies' palms itching holsters, eyes locking on Mia, child services custody, now. Bikers out. Rourke didn't budge, Mia's cheek pressed to his thigh, her whisper hot, she's Ricky's aunt. Lies for beer money. Marla sneered clipboard, vigilante assault. Ricky's family. Girls unstable, texts prove hallucinating. Rourke pulled Mia's cracked iPhone, replaying audio, Ricky's roar, glass shatter, Lena's scream. Hallucinating? That's felony evidence. Your nephew's toolbox philosophy. Marla blanched, Ricky's donations funded her lake house, but doubled down, false imprisonment. Deputies, seize the child. Brick stepped forward rumbling earthquake, touch her, touch pavement. Tension snapped electric, deputies' hands twitching, but Tessa's tablet pinged viral, Finstream exploding socials, #Viperescue trending, Dinah Mindy testifying live, saw the bruises. Bikers saved M. National feeds picked up, Fox local chopper overhead. Marla's phone buzzed frantic, Ricky's oil baron brother Victor Voss, roughneck kingpin, raging, bury it or you're fired. But cracks showed, Lena woke groggy, spotting Mia safe, croaked to Docs, Ricky snapped it over burnt toast. He's beaten her weakly. These men, angels. Docs nodded grim, X-rays screaming chronic abuse, Mia's old rib fractures glowing history. FBI agent Reyes rolled in unmarked at midnight, Viper contact from a prior meth bust, file thick, Voss priors buried, 5 assaults, 2 CPS drops. Victor's shell companies laundering foster payoffs. Marla wheeled on him, federal overreach. Reyes cool, RICO warrant incoming. Step off or join Ricky. Deputies backed down palms up, Marla fleeing heels snapping retreat. Mia tugged Rourke's cut, mum. He knelt eye level, stable. Surgery dawn. You sleep safe. Brick scooped her Teddigentle to waiting room cot, Vipers circling protective thunder. Outside, Victor's blacked out 250 idle shadows, goons scanning bikes, Rourke met eyes through glass, promise burning, warpath lit. Clubhouse burner buzzed, Silas scouting Voss oil pads, whispers of discipline sheds for foster runaways. Dawn crept as Lena wheeled surgery bound, Mia kissing pale cheek, Daddy Rourke stays. Lena nodded tears, earned it, baby. Vipers refueled Harley's lot edge, town whispers swelling, gas station clerks sharing Mia's tech screenshot, truckers honking solidarity. But Victor's web ran county deep, crooked DA, mill judges, CPS puppets. Rourke gunned throttle test, family rides together. Voss blood first. Mia waved from lobby window, first spark hope eyes. Engines thundered verdict, redemption roared chrome hot, justice's convoy rolling unbreakable. Dawn broke bloody over Voss oil pad 7, rusted derricks groaning wind, chainlink rattling as 5 Iron Vipers Harleys ghosted the perimeter like wolves circling crippled prey, Rourke Reaper Callahan killing his engine first amid scrub brush. Mia Harper safe at clubhouse with Tessa's old lady watch, her text screenshot burner wallpaper now club talisman. Brick Tanner hefted bolt cutters truck thick, Finwire Cole drone hacking pad cams to loop static, Duke Ghost Hale sniper scope towers spotting 2 goons dozing Boone's farm, Sarah Venom Ruiz palming garage shanks from her boot. Intel burned hot, Victor Voss's discipline shed, padlocked Quonset hut buried foster complaints, Ricky's punching gallery, chain scars etched cinderblock. Rourke signaled breach, Brick snipped fence silent, Vipers melting shadows to shed door. Locked heavy. Finn jimmied digital keypad in 90 seconds. Click, hatch yawned hellmouth, concrete pit, mattress-stained terror, child-sized chains bolted walls, fresh blood spray corner, insulin cooler tipped mockery like Eli's nightmare redux. Sarah's blade flicked photos, 30 names carved here. Victor's ledger. Rourke's fist cratered sheetrock, Tommy's chemo ghost screaming Mia's future. Victor burst main office raging AR-15 slung, trespassing scum. Goons flanked bullpup shotguns. Firefight detonated dust-choked, Duke suppressed .308 cracked goon knee 400 yards. Brick charged Victor bear truck crumpling him into forklift tines. Finn EMP'd Padlight's blackout chaos, Sarah shankdanced second goon disarming bleed out. Rourke pinned Victor boot throat against rusted drum. Ricky's brother? Toolbox kingpin? Mia's text ended your game. Victor spat oil black. CPS hours. DA hours. Girl returns or Lena eats pavement. Finn's drone dropped evidence avalanche. Laptop seized spilling manifests. 52 kids trafficked 3 years. Foster fees to judges. Ricky's assaults rubber stamped. Sirens wailed inbound. Reyes tipped anonymous. But Vipers extracted chrome clean. Shed torched forensic. Gas-soaked rags accident. Victor zip-tied for feds. Harley's peeling pre-dawn thunder. Town ignited noon. Hash wrong number hero viral 2M views. Gas stop clerks leaking shed pics. Trucker CB radioing Viper's vengeance. Hospital Lena stabilized. Mia visiting clutching Rourke's patch. Shed gone. He nodded gravel. Dust. CPS Marla arrested lunch. Ricky flipped canary singing Victor's network. DA resigned 3 p.m. amid protests. Smoky Ridge diner banner. Reaper's counter. Family seat. *** Victor arraigned dusk. Rico hammer federal. But goon whispers lingered. State ring deeper. Senators implicated. Viper's clubhouse swelled supporters. Auction kids from Lila's fight visiting Mia. Bikers against child abuse representatives patching alliance. Rourke lifted Mia shoulder high. Your text lit the fire. She beamed. Daddy Rourke's engines. Brotherhood roared unanimous. Full colors when grown. Road cleared, but justice convoy rolled eternal. Voss Empire ash under Viper wheels. The courtroom was silent long before the judge walked in. Not because of fear. Because everyone in there had already seen the video. Screenshots of a single message were pinned to every news chyron, every blog, every angry Facebook post in town. Help. He broke Mum's arm. Hiding in closet. His yelling. Come quick. 247, Oak Street. And under it, the reply from an unknown number that had changed everything. I'm on my way. Engines hot in 60 seconds. Now, that unknown number sat at the defendant's table in a borrowed collared shirt that still couldn't hide the road scars on his hands. Rourke Reaper Callahan. President of the Iron Vipers. Felon. Biker. Wrong number. The DA had tried every angle in the book over the last month. Reckless endangerment, vigilantism, unlawful restraint of Ricky Voss at the house, terroristic intimidation at the oil pad. Victor Voss's expensive attorneys had filed motions painting Rourke as a gang leader who exploited a domestic dispute for attention. But the facts had a habit of fighting back. Every time they rolled the hospital x-rays, the jury leaned toward Mia. Multiple healed fractures on a 9-year-old. New spiral break on Lena's arm. Bruising patterns no fall in the kitchen could explain. Every time they replayed the audio from Mia's panicked text, the courtroom flinched on the same words. He broke Mum's arm. Every time they showed the shed photos, from Pad 7, from the discipline Quonset, chains bolted low to the walls, child-sized mattresses on bare concrete, insulin coolers smashed, it got harder to remember who was technically breaking the law when the Vipers cut the locks. And every time, without fail, they ended with the same grainy ER lobby security clip. Mia's small hand wrapped around a biker's belt loop, refusing to let go. Now it was the last day. Lena Harper took the stand with her arm out of the cast but not yet holding weight, a faint tremor in her left hand every time she looked toward the defense table. Ms. Harper, the DA asked gently, for once on the same side as the defense, if Mr. Callahan hadn't answered that text, what do you think would have happened that night? Lena met Ricky's eyes where he sat shackled with marshals, then turned to Victor in the second row, then finally looked at Rourke. He'd have finished what he started, she said simply. He told me more than once that if I ever left, he He'd break the girl to keep her quiet. We'd called police before. We'd called child services. We got pamphlets and we'll look into it. She nodded at Rourke. At the patch sewn to his cut hanging over the pew behind him. That night, we got an answer, she said. We got someone who didn't put us on hold. Later, they called Mia. She was small in the witness chair. Her new shoes didn't quite reach the floor. The judge let her hold a stuffed dog while she spoke, one ear worn from nervous fingers. Do you remember sending the message? The DA asked. Yes, she said. Mum was on the floor. He was screaming. I tried 911 but it said, all lines busy. I hit the first number on the screen and just wrote what was happening. Did you know who you were texting? No, she admitted. I thought it might be Mum's work. Or my teacher. Or wrong. She swallowed. But they answered. The DA's voice softened. Do you remember what they said? Mia nodded, eyes flicking to Rourke. I'm on my way. Engines hot in 60 seconds, she recited. Did that make you feel any particular way? She nodded again. Like a movie. Like when the heroes say, hang on, kid. I thought maybe it was a joke. Then I heard the bikes. And when Mr. Callahan and the others came into the house, were you afraid of them? At first, she said honestly. They're big. And they look rough. There were a few quiet chuckles. The judge didn't stop them. But then, the DA prompted. They stood between me and Ricky, she said. Ricky looked scared for the first time. And I wasn't. She turned fully toward the judge. I know you're supposed to say bikers are bad, she said, voice small but steady. But the only people who ever hurt us had jobs and nice shirts and said 'em in court. The only people who ever showed up when we were bleeding wore leather. No lawyer in the room objected. By the time Captain Reyes testified, laying out Victor's RICO charges, the offshore accounts, the Foster payoff trail, the shed manifests, the narrative was locked. Whatever else the Vipers were, whatever laws they'd bent, one thing was immovable. They'd answered a cry for help the system let ring. When closing arguments ended, the judge called a recess and the jury vanished behind heavy doors. Rourke sat with his hands folded, Mia tucked between him and Lena in the front row now that testimony was done. The courtroom emptied of noise, leaving only the tick of the old wall clock and the faint hum of the HVAC. You worried? Mia whispered. He considered it. I've been worried in rooms like this before, he admitted. Different reasons. Different patch on my back. What about now? She pressed. He looked at her. At Lena. At the row behind them where Brick, Finn, Duke, Sarah, and half a dozen support members sat in donated button-ups that didn't quite hide their ink. At worst, he said, they tell me I should have stayed on the highway and minded my own business. She frowned. And at best. He shrugged one shoulder. They admit that sometimes, someone has to steer into a wreck instead of riding past it. The jury came back in under an hour. That was fast. Rourke stood when the foreman did. Lena squeezed his hand. Mia clutched his sleeve like she had that first night at the ER. On the charge of unlawful restraint, the foreman read, not guilty. On the charge of aggravated assault regarding Mr. Ricky Voss. Not guilty. On the charge of interfering with ongoing law enforcement operations at Voss Oil Pad 7. A pause. Not guilty. Ricky cursed under his breath. The marshal's hand tightened on his shoulder. The foreman wasn't done. We, the jury, would like to add a note, he said, looking up. We believe charges should never have been brought against Mr. Callahan for actions taken in immediate defense of a child and an incapacitated victim, especially given the documented prior failures of the system. The judge's eyebrows rose slightly. Notes like that weren't binding. But they echoed. When the gavel finally fell, it felt less like a sentence, more like a release. Outside, the courthouse steps were a forest of microphones. Mr. Callahan, are you a hero? Do you think this sets a dangerous precedent for vigilantism? What do you say to people afraid of motorcycle clubs like yours? Rourke stepped to the top of the stairs. He could have said a lot. About the hypocrisy. About the years his patch had made him an automatic suspect. About the funerals he'd stood at for brothers the world never knew had quietly paid kids rent or stood outside courtrooms so abused children didn't have to walk in alone. Instead, he did what bikers do best. He kept it simple. "I got a text from a scared kid," he said. "A mom on the floor. A man breaking bones. I had a choice. Look away, or turn around." He glanced down at Mia and Lena. At the small cast still hugging Mia's wrist from one bad block. At Lena's healing arm. "We turned around," he said. "That's it." "And what about the next time?" a reporter shouted. "What if someone else texts the wrong number?" Rourke looked straight into the cameras. "Then I hope whoever gets it makes the same choice," he said. "Patch or no patch." The next days blurred into headlines and hearings and policy reviews. CPS directors were shuffled. Voss Oil started selling off assets to cover victim settlements. The shed at Pad 7 was razed to bare earth. The Iron Vipers went back to riding. Not back the way they were. There was a new helmet on the clubhouse shelf now. Small. Matte black. A pink sticker on one side in the shaky letters of a 9-year-old. Engine hot in 60 sec. Under it, a phone mounted in a cheap frame, forever displaying the message that had changed 3 lives and knocked an entire county sideways. Sometimes, late at night, when the clubhouse had emptied and the bikes clicked as they cooled out front, Rourke would sit on the old couch, thumb hovering over that cracked screen, rereading the words. "Help. He broke Mum's arm. I'm on my way. Did you ever wish you hadn't answered?" Lena asked him once, as Mia snored softly against a pile of leather cuts after movie night. He shook his head. "Only wish," he said quietly, "that I'd gotten it sooner." Mia stirred, half awake, catching the last part. "You got there," she mumbled. "That's what counts." He looked at her. At the girl who'd texted a stranger instead of giving up. At the wrong number that had turned into the right family. "Yeah, kid," he said. "That's what counts." Outside, the road waited. There would be other rides. Other storms. Other messages sent into the dark by shaking hands hoping someone, anyone, was on the other end. If they hit his phone, he knew what he'd say. Same thing every time. "I'm on my way." Sometimes the smallest, clumsiest reach for help, one wrong number, one shaky text, is the bravest act a child will ever make. What happens next doesn't belong to fate or systems. It belongs to whoever chooses to answer instead of looking away. Loyalty isn't proven in patches or reputations, but in who you run toward when every instinct says to stay out of it. Real courage is the decision to steer into someone else's wreck at 10:47 p.m. because a stranger said, "He broke Mum's arm." We don't control who cries out to us, or when, or why, but we do control whether our engines stay idle or roar to life. In a world full of missed calls and ignored messages, be the one who answers, "I'm on my way," and means it all the way to the door.